Hello and welcome to week 8 up here in the mountain. A pretty blowy mountain, but otherwise a little bit windy. But otherwise the weather's great, man. It's nice and cool. Not too hot, blue sky. And this week I need to get walls done. I need to start cladding walls. Before I can put the roof on, I need to clad walls, and I also need to put some strapping. Some diagonal strapping on these walls just to stabilize everything. So that's the plan of action for this week. But first I need to build myself a workbench because I need to actually cut everything down here. I need to cut all the materials down here because obviously every single piece is now going to be slightly different length. So yeah, I've got to figure that one out, and they've also got to cross in the corners. They've got to do something similar to that, so to strengthen it, to stitch it all together. So yeah, I've got to get some silver insulation on, and then first the strapping, then silver insulation, and then yeah, I'll start figuring out how I'm going to actually get the spacings right, because what I want to do is actually have the first one, or the last one of the line sitting just underneath of that over there, and then there'll be two more beyond that. But yeah, that's the plan. So anyway, let me crack on here and start making some stuff happen. But yeah, I think we can probably get a couple of screws in here and get start building a workbench here. So this is not my favorite stuff in the world, as you'll see when I cut it. This stuff is pretty, it's got a mind of its own. But yeah, it is necessary to keep all the walls straight. You see what I mean? Right, let me see if I can get some up top here. First I've got to straighten it all out. And then figure out a route where I'm going to put it. It's quite interesting the way you've got to roll this stuff out. You can't just pull it. Otherwise it twists, so you've got to kind of straighten, get yourself a piece, and then either cut it off if you're brave and you know the measurement, or you can just keep the roll handy and unroll it all. Let me try that again. Screw that there first. There you go. I think I had too much of an angle there. Being a bit optimistic. That's better. Alright, and now I need some clout nails because you're actually not supposed to screw this stuff in, you're supposed to nail it in. I'm going to force the screw out. Alright, let's get some nails in that and then do the next one. So pull it and make sure, get you over here, make sure that you get this thing as tight as you can. Else it doesn't help if it's all sloppy. But it can't go across the window open. So this is the bathroom window. It cannot go across there, can't go like there, it's got to go below here. Put it there, then I can double nail some of those ones. Okay, so when you put your screw in, you put it in at a little bit of an angle here. Okay, pull this jobby tight. See there. Pulls it nice and tight. Right, now we nail the rest of it. Okay, now the really fun part is getting this stuff up in the wind. This is very exciting doing this. I've said a few swear words in the past putting this stuff up. But it's cool. We shall get it up. So now, a couple of nails. Hopefully without it flying away from me. Definitely this side. Okay, so for this section, I seriously had to speed it up and cut the sound because there was a lot of swearing that went on here. This was very frustrating. This wind was seriously strong. And I'd get some nails in, get one side done, pull it tight on the other side, and that side would blow out. It was rather irritating. But I mean, it was one of those days you just had to get it done because the insulation's got to go in before the cladding can go on. So you can't just like not put the insulation in. So this was 10 minutes of fighting with this insulation to get it on that I could start putting some cladding on. But yeah, eventually what I did was just fasten one little beam at a time. Put lots of nails in, move on to the next one, put lots of nails in. And yeah, doing that I finally, eventually got it to stay on the wall. Once you start putting cladding on, it's fine because the screws sort of hold it tight. But yeah, the problem is when it's just got some clout nails in it, it tends to tear off quite easily. So yeah, a little bit irritating, but anyway, it worked in the end. I'm going to build myself a gauge. This distance here is exactly 90, which is the thickness of one of these planks. So now I mark this one off in increments of 90 all the way down here. And then I start right at the top level of the wall. And then I put these marks all the way down. And then I can get my mark for the very bottom one, because I've got to start at the bottom and work my way up. You don't start at the top and work your way down. So yeah, that's how it's going to work. That's looking good so far. Alright, so now I screw this to the top and then I mark out all my little spacings all the way down. Alright, so now it's the putting all that together. I've kind of figured out the sizes here that I need. Now I've got to get it all together. I've got an overlap on this side, so this one goes pretty much to the edge of that. Got the mark there. Shoot a nail in that one. Shoot a nail in this side. I lost my pippy. Okay, and that's pretty much how it's going to go. And then of course after that it's all the screws and stuff. You see I've got these little marks here that tell me where the planks have got to go. So yeah, that all goes together. And then these, and I'll do these fill-ins afterwards. The performers. Right, put some screws in here. Some of these I might have to loosen again to get the next row of planks in here, but it's fine. We'll worry about that later. Get them nice and tight, don't strip anything. And all is good. Right, there we go. So this one is going in the window section here. So the window is going to be sticking through here. And then I'm going to do a trim all the way around the window. But yeah, this is pretty much how it's going to go from there. I'm just going to nail gun it here quick, just temporarily to hold it in place until I can get it. Come on, baby. So I can get an actual screw in here. Oh, sometimes it doesn't want to fire. Alright, so that's that one. Now I've got to mark off a very painstaking process this, because every single screw hole, because I'm OCD, every screw hole's got to be marked in a specific place. All got to be perfect. But of course this takes a huge amount of time. But at the end of the day, it all looks good. So that's how it is. Good morning. Tuesday morning. Wind's still blowing. But yeah, I've got some strapping up on this next section. I'm going to do the lowest section of this next one first. I think I'm going to do the lowest sections pretty much all the way around first. Then start putting windows in and then build up from there. It's just easier than building scaffolding now in one section and then, yeah, anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm going to try and get some of this silver insulation up now in this wind, but it should be okay. The wind's not gale force or anything, it's probably about 30 k's an hour, I suppose. Not crazy, but still enough to mess me around. So yeah, let's see how this goes. But I think I'm going to start in that corner and work back, otherwise I'm going to battle a bit to fasten that first piece. Okay, let's see how this goes. I apologise in advance if there's any swearing. It could be. Get all this stuff out the way that's not behind the cladding once I'm done, yeah. This one went a lot easier. You can see the wind's not pumping here. The wind suddenly just died down. I don't know what was happening this day. It was just like all of a sudden the wind died down. It was easy to put it on again. But also, yeah, here I'm not square into the wind. I'm sort of like 90 degrees to it, so that also helped quite a bit. But yeah, so this, what they call BMI coverall, is a type of isolation. It's a double-sided, so it's insulated from both sides, and it's got an R value of 1.56, which is actually very good. It's actually made as a roof insulation, but I like using it on the walls because it gives a very, very good R rating on the wall. And also it keeps any wind from blowing through the wall, it keeps any moisture from penetrating the wall if it does for some reason get through. And yeah, it just gives you a very nice cozy house. Right, so I've done a couple here, just to make sure everything's working out nicely before I commit to everything. So yeah, so that just closes that little gap on the end there, and then we get this beautiful crisscross pattern on the end, which to me is a lot more interesting than just doing like a butt joint, because the problem with a butt joint is as the wood dries, it's going to open up gaps here. With this crisscross pattern, makes it really interesting and incredibly strong as well on the end joint. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it looks very cool. Okay, so I know this might look very tedious the way I do things here with every single plank it's marked out with a square. But yeah, I like to have my screws straight, you know. I don't use nails, and yeah, there's always screwed in. I like to have everything straight, and when you stand back and look at it, I like to sort of see all the screws in nice straight lines. It makes me happy at the end of the day. So yeah, it takes a bit of time, but I don't mind doing it, and at the end of the day it gives a good product, you know, and hopefully the client's happy that I spend so much time doing all the screws. But yeah. Alright, so I've got to get some strapping on here again. I'm actually going to take it around this corner a little bit here, just to sort of bond these two panels together. Right, so I found my bit. It was in the other pocket. Got this all strapped up. Strapped up, wrapped up. Maybe nicely bought to this side. Okay, we're getting there. Checking this thing's recording. Right, I haven't been filming everything today because a lot of serious repetition here. Lots and lots of the sameness. So yeah, I've just filmed a little bit that you can see how the cladding works, but it's pretty much going to be like a week of cladding now. 2 weeks of cladding. This whole weekend, next week. So it's not particularly exciting. But yeah, I want to line this one here. I want to see now the next one, if it lines up with the top. It's supposed to, according to my calculations. But we shall now see. Alright, so that's the progress for the day. Here we got, hasn't gone too badly today. Got some cladding on. Some cladding on this side. Some cladding on that side. And yeah, I finished off this little piece here. So yeah, it's getting there, it's getting there. It's getting into the groove now of the cladding. It takes a bit of time. But yeah, if the weather's like this again tomorrow, happy days, man. A bit warm today, but not too bad, a little bit windy. But fun with the radiant shield, but yeah, I think it's been a good day. So yeah, I'm going to pack everything up now, tidy up a bit, have something to eat, and then hit it again tomorrow morning. But yeah, coming on, I'm glad to get some cladding done, and the house is definitely becoming more stable now. It's got the strapping on and the cladding, so yeah, we're getting there, we're getting there. But yeah, we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful day. The wind's dropped a bit. It rained a little bit last night, not too hectic. But yeah, this morning is another morning of fine carpentry, where I'm working with tolerances of less than a millimeter. So yeah, I've got to pay attention. Getting all these joints done on the corners here. They've got to be pretty close. So yeah, it's actually quite a cool joint because yeah, I just like the way it looks, and also it bonds the house together nicely. You know, if you've just got a straight cut sort of butt joint on the end, if the timber expands or contracts, it leaves a big gap, which I don't like. You know, with these things it doesn't. Yeah, you've got a joint that can almost slide over each other if you have like hectic expansion, that one can slide past the other one. Expansion and contraction. So yeah, anyway, it is what it is, but I just like doing it like this. It's something different. So yeah, let me go and cut some more angles there this morning quick, and I'll bring you guys back now to see how they all fit together. Right, so that's what the joint looks like in the corner. I do a little notch out there, cut out there, and that slides into this one. You see, the beauty of this joint is if the water goes into this little gap here, it can't go past, it still hits that little wall there and then runs down here. So theoretically the water can't come in, but also remember, as soon as it starts raining, everything's going to swell up anyway, so then that closes all the gaps, if there are any tiny little gaps here. But yeah, the idea is that one needs to go to there. But you see, if there's expansion or contraction, it can move past the other one, so it doesn't blow the wall out. So you just put it like that it's nice and even. Go mark off on the other side, and then cut it. You know, every single one has got to be done like this, painstakingly laid out, marked out, cut out. It's a bit of a process, but yeah, I enjoy doing it. It's therapeutic, I think. Yeah, so this one over here, this one's just a butt joint. It just touches up against there. If any water gets in here, it hits this little lip on the inside and runs down there. So theoretically, the water can't get in here either. And then the expansion, now if this one needs to expand, it expands that way. Because on that side, it's got a joint like this. So then it can slide past this other piece of wood. So that's the way you get it to expand and contract. You've always got to make sure that one of your joints can slide past. And then yeah, everything works alright. So the thing you need to remember with this timber is if I was laying green timber here now, like wet timber, then you would have shrinking more than anything else. But because this timber is dry, very dry, because I've had sticker stacked, it's only going to shrink. It's not going to, it's only going to expand at least, it's not going to shrink. So that's why I've got these joints on it. Oh, that looks better. Okay, let's see if this works. Come with me on the journey that I've got to take every time I cut a piece of wood. Besides the fact that I'm sick this week and my lungs aren't working so lekker. Okay, let's check it out. Let's just get you guys straight here. Okay, so that joint goes in there, like such. And it's got a line up there. This one's going to be my flush edge. Okay, so the wall is going to go, the window is going to go against that edge, come sit through there onto the top of this saw, which looks good. This one here has got a line up with that one there. Perfect. All good. Alright, now we can screw this thing in. Just need to get my square back again. Okay, so you see I've got all these little marks over here. I don't know if you can see them. So this is the marks coming down from the top level of the actual ring beam, coming down all my planks, and I have to finish on that. And see, I've got the joint on this one, so this one slots in through there and lines up there, but I'm still about 2 mil too high here. So now what I'm doing is I'm using slightly smaller planks here, like a 90 -2, so 2 mil thinner than the standard plank, to drop that line down to try and get it back to the mark again. And this is how it goes pretty much the whole way around. You've got to constantly play around with sizes to make sure that you stay on the actual guideline and you don't go out. As soon as you go crazy out, when I get to the top of the window, things aren't going to line up anymore. And that's a bit of a problem, so don't want that. So the whole way around now I've got to steal to get back to my mark, my reference mark. Alright, next one's going in. Got my saw set up properly here now, so at least I can be comfortable when I'm sawing. And yeah, let's get this next baby in. Quite low on the ground here. Let's drop you guys down a bit here. Be more on my level here. Alright, let's see if we can get this one in here. Oh, these things fit together, so it's such a satisfying feeling when they slot together like this. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, let's get this one in. I've got my little joint there. So this now slides into here. Boom. Stops there. I see I've got a beam here, so I'm going to screw this one. There, let's see if I can get another joint down to about there. Okay, so this one has got a couple of things going on again. I've got the joint right on this side. Now I've got to draw this out. I'm going to keep this side squared like I did with the other one. Make sure it's down properly here. And I'm going to make the other side 10 more over 890. And then, right, let's do this cutout. Okay, so this pretty little joint here has got to go in that corner. Hopefully everything lines up. Looks good. That looks good. Alright, let's put some screws in this baby. Right, so at the end of a very dusty day, but not too windy and nice and cool actually. This is what I managed to get done. I got this section done, I got this section done, this section done, that section done, and that section done. And I've sort of started on that piece. So that's what I've got done for today. Tomorrow I want to try and get that piece done and that piece done and probably that section there done. Up to the level of the isolation, and then from there we'll figure it out, because tomorrow afternoon and Friday I need to start painting this stuff. Stuff's got to get painted, it's got to get waxed. So if I don't wax it, everything's going to expand and all my measurements are going to go all haywire. It's already starting to absorb moisture, this stuff. Yesterday we had a lot of them that were 90 minus 2. I've got now some that are 90 plus 2. So they're absorbing a lot of moisture. So yeah, that's the story. I need to get that sorted tomorrow, but the weather looks good tomorrow. Should be cool. And then, yeah, like I say, Friday I need to get painting. Get painting on this stuff. But yeah, it's coming on, man. It's coming on. It's starting to look like a house now. Good morning. Welcome to another glorious African morning. Hey, how are those clouds on the mountain there, man? Isn't that magnificent? About 7:45 now. I've been up since 7. Generators running, batteries are charging. Getting myself set up here for some more cladding today. This is the wall I'm busy with right now. Cross brace those two. These are pretty important that these get nicely cross braced. Do these two walls today, this one and hopefully that one. That's the plan of action for today. And then tomorrow I've got to paint like a crazy person, because all this stuff has got to be waxed before I go away for the weekend. So yeah, there's my setup on the deck. Saw, my magnificent little cordless saw. I'm so loving this thing. It's so easy, it's so light, and it just works. It cuts beautifully. Battery lasts a good half a day. It's incredible. Oh man, but look at it. Look at it. Absolute silence. Besides for that noisy generator. But yeah, things have got to get charged. So that's the setup. Cut some planks. Do some cladding. Yeah, get stuck in. Alright, so fitting some more cladding here. Get this stuff on, get everything marked out, get all the screws in nice and straight. Move on to some more strapping. I get these corners. This is the last wall that I can actually strap nice and straight. It doesn't have windows in, so I can get some nice big cross bracing on these just to stabilize the whole house here. And it worked, eh? The house is very solid now after these. And obviously all the back ones as well. And as you go around with the cladding, you know, the more cladding you get on, the stronger it becomes. So, yeah, that's why I didn't want to put the roof on yet, you know. I could have put the roof on, but at the end of the day, I don't want to put the roof on if the walls are still moving. And once I've done all this, the walls will definitely not be moving anymore. So here we go, putting the sliding door together. For some reason my sound has died. I don't know why, what's happened with my mics. I'll have to check that out this weekend and see what's happening there. But yeah, the sound has died on my mics. So I'm just going to do voiceover for this little one. But yeah, putting the framework for the sliding door together. The reason I do this is so that I can get the get it in, and then I can get the exact size of the sliding door for the cladding to set up against. Because what I'm going to do now is silicone it in and then do an etching strip around it. So yeah, here I'm painting all my homemade wax mix. I've sort of been making that stuff for quite a few years now, purely because I couldn't get any other wax. So yeah, that's the... Right, the sun's going down shortly. And there we go, there's the section of wall I've just finished now. Just got to do some varnishing or some waxing, and then that is done. That bit is done. Tomorrow this piece over here and that piece there, and then next week I'm going to build scaffold down there so I can get around to do that section, and then your high scaffold so I can build the rest of the section around. But yeah, it's been a good week, man. Got some stuff done. Got some cladding up. Beautiful weather this week. Fantastic. Really, really cool weather. Nice and a little bit warm, a couple of days, but the wind has really died down now the last two days. It's special. The evenings are so quiet. So yeah. All good up here on the mountain. Get some wax on here. Make some supper. Tonight I need to make a proper supper because I'm a bit hungry. I haven't been eating properly the last couple of days, so to get some decent food in. And yeah, enjoy the sunset. We'll see you guys in the morning.